What's up YouTube, it's your boy NotZay back again with another NBA video, and today we'll be going over who I believe will win the Rookie of the Year pick by pick. So with the first pick, the Philadelphia 76ers selected Markelle Fultz, and my only issue with Markelle Fultz is that he never had to share the ball. In high school, he of course never had to share the ball with anyone, and in college he had a 31.5 usage rating, which is about what Damian Lillard had in the NBA, and now he's asked to share the ball with Ben Simmons and share the scoring load with Joel Embiid. So I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna work. Ben Simmons, he's gonna be very ball dominant because he can't really do very much without the ball because he's not that great of a shooter. I'm not even sure if he's that good of a mid-range shooter, but we haven't seen him in a season. Maybe he developed some of those things, but I don't think so. And then Joel Embiid is obviously the guy for the 76ers because he had a monster rookie year, even though he played 30 games, but you could see that he is the guy moving forward. So Fultz shot 39% from the NBA 3, which is 4% more than league average, and this happened in summer league, so you know he can play off ball a bit, even though he might not be the most comfortable there. He's not great from 3, but he's good enough. So I believe when he gets to the NBA, he's gonna be shooting 35% from 3, which is the league average, which is really good for a rookie, honestly. Fultz will be playing a Kyrie Irving-esque role, meaning he'll be the #2 scoring option on it and a secondary ball handler. Fultz can do pretty much everything offensively, and most of the time the Rookie of the Year is whoever gets the most points, and I believe Fultz can do that and get a few assists on top of that. So I can see him averaging something like 15, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 4 to 5 assists on a solid field goal percentage because he won't have to do everything else like he did when he was at Washington. Up next we have Markelle Fultz's teammate Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons will essentially be playing point guard for the 76ers and will have the ball a bit more than Fultz, and he has more of an all-around game than Fultz, even though both of their all-around games are pretty solid. Simmons is a prolific passer and a good ball handler, but doesn't do very much else on offense. He's not that good of a shooter. He's actually terrible, and teams are just going to be sagging off of him, and he'll be forced to either force a shot up or pass it. He's not that good of a post scorer and is almost forced to get most of his points in transition. Ben is a willing rebounder though, and the 76ers did a good job surrounding him with good enough shooters in JJ Redick, Markelle Fultz, Dario Saric, Joel Embiid, and Robert Covington, who shows life as a shooter, even though he shot 35% his first season and dipped down to around 33% in his second season. But I believe he can be a solid shooter, so I see Simmons averaging 11 points, 6 or 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. It's a toss-up between Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons on who's going to be the best candidate for Rookie of the Year on the 76ers. So next up we'll have Lonzo Ball. With the second pick, the Los Angeles Lakers selected Lonzo Ball, and Lonzo has a case as well for Rookie of the Year because of how much responsibility Luke Walton will give him. He'll have the ball most of the time, and he only has to share the ball in lineups when he's with Clarkson because Clarkson's coming off the bench, and sometimes Ingram, who showed life last season as a ball handler. We even ran him at point guard at one point. Magic and Rob also surrounded Lonzo with quality players such as KCP, who match his style of play. For example, KCP is pretty athletic and will be able to run up and down the court with him. Randall appears to have gotten to the Biggest Loser, and he's pretty slim thick now, so I'm imagining him running up and down the court. And Ingram is athletic, long, and has shown life as a cutter for Lonzo and as an off-ball shooter. Lonzo is pretty good at picking his spots to score, so I imagine he'll be pretty efficient if he cuts down the amount of threes he takes and gets up to league average, which is 35%. I see him averaging between 9 to 11 points, 5 rebounds, and around 8 assists, which is really good for a rookie, and they will only go up when he gets more experience, which may just be good enough for him to win Rookie of the Year. And next up we have Jason Tatum with the third pick to Boston. He's not gonna get enough touches, but had he been on a team that's not really a contender, he would definitely be in contention for the Rookie of the Year because of his scoring prowess. But right now he's on the Celtics and they have Jaylen Brown, Jay Crowder in front of him, so he's not really going to get enough minutes or touches to really show what he can do for the Rookie of the Year award. And with the fourth pick, the Phoenix Suns selected Josh Jackson. He's going to have a Justice Winslow-esque season where he's an NBA-ready defender from day one. He's long, uber athletic, can run up and down the court, can play defense on a 1, 2, 3, and sometimes even a 4. But his scoring will take some time to catch up with his defense. But I believe the Suns will use him a lot. Plus, he's an underrated playmaker, so I think he'll average something around 10 points, 4 to 5 rebounds, and 3 to 4 assists. With the fifth pick, the Sacramento Kings selected De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox has a small chance at the award, but seeing as though he'll be coming off the bench to start the season, it may be hard for him to score because he's coming off the bench for one, so he won't get as many shots up. And then he's a terrible shooter. He shot 12% from 3 in the summer league and sub 29% from the college 3-point line, paired with a horrid 68% from the free throw line during summer league on 5 attempts per game. It's good that he shows life of drawing fouls, which is really good for a guy who can't really shoot getting to the free throw line, but the thing about that is you have to be able to hit your free throws. And D Fox is probably one of the 3 or 4 fastest players in the NBA already, so he can get to the rim with ease, and his mid-range is pretty legit, and he's a phenomenal leader. Just listen to him mic'd up.
Yo, Kings on 3, 1, 2, 3. Kings, let's turn it up early. Let's get it early. We started this game off for like 4 stops in a row. Let's get back to it. Scout, that's a bad pass. That's me. That's me. Yo, hey, let's execute. Good shot, buddy. Good shot, boy. Hey, I'm gonna find you, boy. Let's start it off like we started the game off. Let's get stopped. Stay with him, Jack. Jack. Yes, sir. It's just me being patient. Because either, like, I'm just taking it go, but I'm waiting for everything to happen first. I got shooter. Hey, it's our week. It's our week. It's week.
So when you listen to that clip, you basically saw he was very vocal on the court. He's a very good leader, and I can see good things happening with him and the Kings. And just because I'm a Lonzo fan doesn't mean I have to hate on D Fox. He's a really good defender for a point guard coming out of college, and he's going to be applying a lot of pressure to opposing ball handlers, kind of like what Tyler Ulis did in college. And I see him averaging something like 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists next season. Honestly, I hope I'm wrong and he takes the starting spot from George Hill so that we can really see what De'Aaron Fox is really about. I think he can be a future all-star. With the 6th pick, the Orlando Magic selected Jonathan Isaac, and he's really raw, and he'll be coming off the bench initially for the Magic because Aaron Gordon plays power forward, and they're going with him. That's their guy for the future, as of now at least. Isaac seems like the perfect role player to where he won't be your star, he might not even be your second option, but he could be your third option, because Isaac is not as good of a player, of course, or a passer as Draymond. They're in like 2 different stratospheres when it comes to passing, but everything else that Draymond does, the defense, being able to switch on to point guards, shooting guards, he can play every position on defense. He's an okay ball handler. He can initiate the offense. He can shoot the 3. That's what I'm saying is Draymond comparison. But he's a bit bigger and longer than Draymond. He's just a lot skinnier. But I see him averaging something like 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in his rookie season. And that's pretty okay for a rookie. I think Markkanen, who the Bulls took with the 7th pick, he isn't rookie of the year material, but he's going to be a solid NBA player because he can't really create for himself. So the Bulls would have had to surround him with people who can get him his own shot, and they didn't. They got Chris Dunn, who was pretty bad on his rookie season, so he's not really that good of a playmaker. But then they did get Zach LaVine. He's a pretty good scorer, but he's not going to be making plays for anyone else. And then they also have Dwayne Wade, and this was 6-7 years ago. I could possibly see it, but Markkanen, he could have easily averaged 14 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist if he was on a team with creators, but he's not. So I see him around 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist, and that's not bad for a rookie. Just not good enough for Rookie of the Year in this class. With the 8th pick, the New York Knicks selected Frank Ntilikina, and I was like, why? You could have just got Dennis Smith, who is a pick and roll kind of guy. Even if they had Phil Jackson, he could fit in the triangle, even though that's outdated. Frank doesn't even fit the triangle at all. But he won't be getting that much PT, nor will he be an impact player from day one. But he can play defense, so I guess that's a thing. I'm sorry, I kind of skipped over. But with the 9th pick, this is who I picked to win Rookie of the Year. Dennis Smith is a dark horse for Rookie of the Year because he can get to the basket with ease due to his athleticism. He has a pretty low handle, and he has quick changes to speed. In college, he also shot the highest percentage on NBA threes out of the elite point guard prospects in this class. So there's your stat of the day. The coach he'll play under, Rick Carlisle, is arguably one of the 3 best coaches in the league, and he's surrounded by more talent than the other prospects in Nerlens Noel, Harrison Barnes, Wesley Matthews, Seth Curry, and of course Dirk. Dennis could really thrive in the spread pick and roll offense that Carlisle runs, where he'd be dribbling up the left side of the floor, and instead of passing it to Dirk, who would be the 4 in that play, he could take the screen from Noel and use his athleticism to either get to the rim and finish, where he'll lob it up to Nerlens, or throw the skip pass baseline to either Matthews, Curry, or Barnes, whoever's playing the 2 at that point, all of which are solid 3-point shooters. He could also play very well in another thing they like to do called the 1-4 pick and roll, which also opens up a lot of opportunity for him because it's heavily dependent on the point guard's playmaking, opens up options. I see Dennis Smith Jr. averaging around 15 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 or 6 assists, and taking home the Rookie of the Year. And after Dennis Smith is the 10th pick, which is Zach Collins. He came off the bench at Gonzaga. He's a pretty good shot blocker. He can hit threes. So that's Zach Collins for you. The Trailblazers tried to replace Myers Leonard with Myers Leonard. So I'm out. Awkward outro.